It's East-West Shrine Week. We're going to talk some potential offensive targets the Vikings might be sniffing around at. All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus, and it is East-West Shrine Week. It is Senior Bowl week. Usually they're not in the same week, so this is kind of a double whammy.
It's weird. The East-West Shrine game actually on a Thursday night. I believe that's the first time that's ever happened. So a lot of draft stuff just being ejaculated upon us before we're even ready.
Yeah, we are covered. We are covered in that stuff. So we're talking offense later. We're gonna be talking about some defensive targets. To be honest, a little more excited about the defensive side of the ball, but we're talking offense, and we're gonna be talking a lot of Senior Bowl this week too.
Yeah, we have to be. It's not all just about the GM and the head coach. Obviously, that's very exciting, but it's draft time, and it's really off full swing this week. It's really kicking off. So let's get after it. Who are you looking at first here on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I'm looking at people watching this to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Yes. How do you like that?
We haven't figured out our hashtag yet for 6,000, but I'm sure we'll come up with something real witty.
We will come up with something, maybe a waffle maker, something really nice that can be useful around the house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk offense. Let's start off with one guy that we both have on our list, and that is center Alec Lindstrom from Boston College, 3-year starter. Boom.
Yeah.
Brother of Chris.
Brother Chris, and that's obviously why he got our attention. We loved Chris Lindstrom in the draft a couple years ago. Went very, very high, a lot higher than we thought he was going to. Was that the same year Bradbury? I think it was.
Lindstrom went 14, I think, to the Falcons, and then broke our hearts. But then we were very happy with Bradbury, which unfortunately we were wrong about.
It shouldn't have been. But he's been a 3-year starter. He's 6'3", 298 pounds. This guy's more of a technician. Really understands angles, uses his leverage. Also, I believe he can anchor. He squares off these run defenders. So I like this guy quite a bit. Sounds like he's just a true center, though. He doesn't have much versatility to him. He's going to be a center. You groom him. Maybe 2 years, he's ready to take over your starting job from Mason.
Yeah, his big knock is he's not very strong. Just not strong. His technique, like you said, is he's well put together. He needs to beef up. He needs to get stronger so he can hold those anchors, hold those things. But best case, like a career backup, a good backup center. I mean, he's looked at a guy go round 5, round 6. It's not like this is like a round 2, 3 impact player, but we've taken centers in the late rounds for the Vikings. Matt Burke, Jeff Christie, late round centers, and they've panned out fantastic.
Wasn't Sullivan a late round center as well?
Hell yes, he was. Round 6.
And let's not kid ourselves. Most of these guys in the East-West Shrine game are your later, your day 3 kind of guys, rounds 5 through 7, rounds 4 through 7. Occasionally you see a couple sneak in a day 2, but that's kind of the talent level here at the East-West Shrine game. And a lot of gems can be found. Let's not knock it or anything. I'm just saying this is usually where these guys come off the board.
Yeah, and as of now, there's no Vikings coach, so we are the Vikings coaches right now. We're doing some scouting. We're gonna call up old Kwesi and say, hey, this is One Bar Lupagus show. We got some guys to watch.
I can't believe they didn't send us down there, to be honest with you.
I can believe that. Well, let me hog one right off the bat here. Since you're talking, these guys are a lot of late round guys, but there is one guy that they're Jackson Kirkland, offensive lineman, offensive tackle. He's like a second round guy. I've seen him in first round mock, so he's probably one of the bigger names there. He's an offensive tackle, so will the Vikings have a ton of eyeballs on him? Probably not, but I just wanted to talk about him because he's probably one of the best players there. So 39 career starts. I'll be watching him. I love it because he's nasty. He's mean. Any draft profiles you read about him, it doesn't appear he's very nice, but he's also not a meathead. He's very smart. He's played multiple spots along the offensive line. So Jackson Kirkland, I could see the announcers talking about him a lot.
Yeah, and that's the kind of guy we want on this offensive line moving forward. We want mean, nasty, physical players. Obviously, we're set at our tackle positions, but looking inside, we need to get tougher, stronger, meaner. That's what.
And he has played guard in college, but he projects as a tackle. We'll see.
All right, I'm going to talk with the guy who least excites me on my list, but I did put him on here because he's kind of a big name that was getting talked about a lot during the college year. That's quarterback Jack Cohn from Notre Dame. This guy's looked at as a pocket passer, needs to have good protection, but he throws an accurate, catchable ball. Was very productive in his year at Notre Dame, so he's kind of looked at as an undrafted. Maybe can work his way into 7th round, but I think, new GM and guy in town, he's going to obviously want to have his future starter, but you also got to have the guy that you want to start developing that maybe can groom into a nice backup, can groom into a guy you can potentially count on. I think Cohn gives you that, and I just want to get a good look at this guy and see what he brings to the table.
Yeah, and as we're going through these, anybody that you're going to be watching, make sure to put in the comments Vikings related or not. But you bring him up. I mean, you say he wasn't really draftable, but look at last year, Ian Book, Notre Dame quarterback draft. Wasn't he like 6th round? I mean,
4th round.
Are you serious? Was it 4th round? When he was drafted, he was like they had him as a 7-run draft. It was like, holy shit. So anything's possible.
Absolutely. That's why we love the draft.
We love the draft. I'm sticking to quarterback. I'm going Dustin Crum, Kent State. When I was looking at these quarterbacks, it was kind of like looking at, let's see, what's that Halloween candy with the black and orange wrappers? It's not even taffy.
I think it's called Halloween candy.
It's wrapped up dog shit that they just put in. That's kind of what I was looking at because there's nothing to get overly excited, but we're like a little Crum. I mean, he's a Kent State career, 55 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, had over 2,000 yards rushing in his career. And that's what stands out to me is the guy can make plays with his legs. Get a late round quarterback to make plays with his legs. I want it. I want, every year we should be drafting a quarterback, whether it's late round something until somebody sticks. And Dustin Crum sounds like he's a guy who has flashes. He's got a decent arm, got some accuracy, definitely needs some work. Developmental keyword here.
And you got to look at these quarterbacks. I mean, we got to have that quarterback of the future. Maybe it's Kellen Mond, but it's probably not. So we got to bring in plenty of guys. We always talk about quantity over quality or quality over quantity right now with the new regime. But when it comes to quarterbacks, I think you got to keep bringing them in until you hit on somebody.
I want to come on, Crum. Bad pass. I'm already practicing.
You are.
Play like Crum.
It sounds great. This next one I'm stealing from our boy Ellis Gregor. I don't know if you saw it in the comments yesterday in our 500 or 5,000 drawing video. He brought up this guy, Cordell Volson from North Dakota State. Yeah. Obviously, Ellis Gregor loves everybody from ND State, but he's an offensive tackle listed at 1, but he has played inside. This guy's massive, 6'7", 313 pounds, already turning heads at the practices. So small school guy. North Dakota State does have a pretty good track record when it comes to NFL talent. So maybe Cordell Volson is the next guy to come out of here. A guy who is intriguing to me. 6'7" guard, though, seems awfully large. I don't know.
Does seem large, but hey, depth along the offensive line. I love those guys. North Dakota State offensive lineman, and he's been getting a lot of love so far. Saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm going to listen to all reviewers when they have draft suggestions this year. Really delve into these guys.
Yes, let us know in the comments for sure. This next guy, while I might have been more intrigued by his name, Charleston Rambo. This dude can play. Wide receiver, 6'1", 185 pounds, transferred from Oklahoma to Miami. He's got 1 year at Miami, 79 receptions, put up almost 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. And he is another name that has already stood out at practice quite a bit. What I love about him, excellent route runner. You can't teach that shit. Usually the receivers coming in from the draft, that's usually their downfall. If you already got that, you already got to step up. And he's a vertical threat, good ball skills. Probably a later round wide receiver. He's had some work at kick returner too. Not like we need one of those, but it's always good to have one of those in your back pocket. Charleston Rambo, a horrible chocolate bar and a great movie combined.
A lot of candy talk in this one here today. Yeah, I saw he was also standing out at practice. And to me, wide receiver is an interesting position when it comes to the Vikings in the draft. I mean, you're sitting there at pick 12. There's a very strong chance the best player on the board is a wide receiver. So if Kwesi's really BPA, that could be a route he looks. You got to see what Adam Thielen's future is. Are they going to move him, cut him, whatever happens there? So it's not a position they have to take, but the value presents itself at any time in this draft. I think they could definitely pull the trigger and get some more competition in this receiver group. And that was a guy I almost put on my list as well just because of his name, Rambo.
I think they need to take a receiver. I think that's definitely be on the list. They have to take a receiver. And Rambo would be wonderful. We did pretty well with the 5th round Miami wide receiver and KJ Osborne. Maybe took a year. Panned out pretty well.
We did. I'm going to agree to disagree that we have to take a receiver, but I definitely think it is on the table. Let's go to another guy here. A position that may not seem like a big need when you look at it at the surface, but really I think tight end is a sneaky need for the Vikings this year. Irv Smith Jr. is going to be your top guy. Tyler Conklin probably not going to come back. You got Smith Jr., who's very injury prone. And what do you have behind him? Zach Davidson. That's pretty gross. You can bring back Luke Stalker, Ben Ellison. Sure as hell ain't bringing back Chris Herndon. So definitely a position that needs some depth, needs some competition. The guy who's really turning heads already is Jelani Woods. This guy's looked absolutely great in practice. Fast, smooth. He's a mismatch nightmare. Why? Because not only is he fast and smooth, he's 6'7". You just throw that thing up to Jelani Woods. We're talking 12 touchdowns a year guaranteed.
That's what we said about Zach Davidson because he's 6'7". He's a mismatch, and he didn't do anything. Broke our hearts.
More of a pure tight end than Zach Davidson was, though.
Zach Davidson, what will come? I cannot wait. My last guy, and this one's strictly going with my heart. This is Blaze Andrews, guard. Minnesota Gophers. New regime. Maybe they'll actually bite on a Gopher. Unfortunately, this guy's really probably not going to get drafted. Very late round. He's an undrafted free agent. 6'6", 335-pound guard. 4-year starter. 46 career starts. Started everywhere along the offensive line except for center, which I always love. And that's really it. I just want to get a Gopher on this team. And he's a guard. Win, 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 win.
Last Gopher drafted was who?
I saw this today. The last offensive lineman that was drafted by anybody was like Mark Setterstrom. I couldn't believe it.
Really? What was that big guy? Greg Esslinger wasn't drafted?
Yeah, but I think Setterstrom was after him.
Oh, all right. Well,
maybe not, but they were right by each other.
Who's that shitty linebacker? I just had his name now. I lost. Nate Triplett. I think the last one the Vikings actually took. All right, my last guy is also a guard, a guy who I don't know. I think he's probably the highest prospect I've been talking about. It's Tyrese Robinson from Oklahoma, 6'2", 319 pounds. This guy has a Kirk Cousins-sized ass on him. He is thick in the trunk, thick in the legs. This guy is going to be able to anchor, hold up any of those big old knee nasty nose guards that line up over him. Very, very stout at the point of attack. Love this guy. This is the kind of guy I want. Big, thick, strong. None of these athletic guys. I don't think Tyrese Robinson is the epitome of athleticism, but you put him on there, he doesn't even have to move. No one's getting around this guy.
Love it. Between the Senior Bowl, East-West Shrine, I'm going to have my carrots right on those guards. That's all I want to look at is guards.
Yeah, guards is huge, especially in this game. And I think when it comes to Senior Bowl, I'm looking at more quarterbacks because you got to decide if you're going to pull a trigger on a first-round guy because that could also be something sitting you in the face. But we'll talk more about that when we talk about our Senior Bowl guys. But
you say that should be somebody sitting on your face?
Staring you at the face, I think is what I said. Maybe I said sitting. I don't know.
I think you did. You got something else on the brain. We're going to be talking defense later for East-West Shrine. And then in the following coming days, we're going to be talking a lot of Senior Bowl. East-West Shrine, like Lovely said, remember, it's on Thursday this year, 7 o'clock. Don't be waiting for Saturday. You won't see it.
You won't see it at all. Is it even televised?
Hell yeah. NFL Network.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for that. And remember this, we're waiting for the East-West Shrine game to kick off. Farts are not powerful enough to propel humans in zero gravity.